What is something acceptable in women but frowned upon in men? Story 1. Going to the park with a child. I babysit my niece, my cousin's daughter to be precise, once. I was 20, she was 4. I took her to the park to play, and in 2 separate occasions a woman came to ask my niece if she knew me and if her parents gave me permission to take her to the park. One even called the police. I had to video call my cousin while she was working, so that my niece could identify her as her mom and my cousin could identify me as her cousin and current babysitter. The crazy thing was that the policewoman was still doubtful. WTF? What did she want more? A DNA test to check if we were truly related? Obviously my sister babysit her multiple times and nobody ever questioned her. Story 2. While visiting my mom for Thanksgiving, I saw a woman walking a dog that looked just like my brother's dog, whom had passed away earlier that year. When my brother arrived, I asked if he had seen the doggy ganger. He said he had, and he almost had stopped and asked if he could pet the pup, but wasn't sure if the woman was a teenager or a young adult, so opted not to interact. I wouldn't have thought twice about the woman's age. Most of the time, a woman's interactions with children and with other women are given the benefit of the doubt, whereas due to the actions of some creeps, harmless actions from males are more likely to come across as creepy even if there aren't any ill intentions. Story 3. As a single dad who has custody of his son, 5, I have been told, a child needs a mother's love. If I show affection to my son, I get weird looks. People always assume I am giving mom a break, when in reality she left because she felt she didn't get to date enough before getting married and having a family. But yeah, a lot of frowned upon stuff seems to involve me simply being a decent father, LMAO. Story 4. Using toys for masturbation purposes. I never have, but have heard many responses towards those who have, always been double-sided. Story 5. My wife has a vibrator, a dildo, a bathtub jacuzzi faucet, and a detachable shower head. I showed her a fleshlight-like thing that I was looking at and she said it was gross and like I was trying to cheat on her. She already thinks me jerking off in between our regular sex is nasty. Story 6. Being a domestic violence victim. When my friend was assaulted by his wife, some of our friends were like, he probably started it. Many people don't believe women can be vicious and men can be domestic violence victim. Story 7. Expressing to another person how someone's behavior hurt you. I saw my sister speak about something that was upsetting her, and I think I genuinely felt jealous when I realized I would never feel safe enough to express how I felt to anyone else. I just feel as a man I'd be seen as weak for doing so. Story 8. Me and my girlfriend were playing tag with my nieces and some lady came afterwards and asked my little niece, "Do you know this man?" My girlfriend told her to fuck off. After that time I really thought, what was my mistake, what did I do wrong, and wonder, do all women think every male has wrong intentions? So to answer your question, it's strolling with little children these days. Story 9. My dad was a seasonal police officer and part of his patrol is a parkland with a beautiful little pond and a great big swing set. The area is very popular for children and developmentally delayed individuals because the area is in a 12-foot fence against a canal, so it's very safe and has only one in and out past a ranger and lifeguard. My dad wholeheartedly believes in the healing power of nature and that children should be outside elbows deep in dirt or sleeping in the grass. He frequently visited this park as part of walking his beat and made great friends with a 10-year-old girl we believe has Down syndrome. She would run up and hug him every time she saw him enter. One day as she ran to hug him with her caregiver in arm's length, a woman made a very loud obnoxious comment that between carrying a gun and groping a child it was a good day for an old white man flexing his power. My dad was gutted and actually came home in tears. The man's behavior has been behind reproach for his 35 years with our village. He has piles of awards, but his proudest achievement is that his gun's never been out of the holster. He walks a path so people see him and he can be there for them, and this one horrific person crushed him as he stopped to connect on a more personal level with a child. He fosters that he will listen and he will help no matter what. It takes years to build those relationships, but one woman only seconds to destroy the confidence of doing right. Dad got over it and he has retired and now serves as a magistrate in the court. That cultivated respect of everyone in his care is gone. The old guys are almost all gone and the county cops don't even get out of their cars. We as citizens are losing the protectors who cared, and people like the woman who destroyed my dad wonder why no one helps, no one stops to say hello. Story 10. As a dad, a lot of the responses in this post are a big reason some of us are seen as assholes in society. Either accidental or deliberate. We are forbidden, at least in the US, from speaking to, looking at, or even acknowledging a minor's presence. Even if it's our own child, we must constantly be alert for the troublemaker that have nothing better to do. I've been damn lucky myself. Maybe it's different living in a rural area. But I've had my share of close calls, including one where I got side-eyed by a mom for commenting on a kid's coat of all thongs, because my own kid used to wear one just like it 2 or 3 years prior. I saw that mother maybe 20 minutes later, while with my own kid, and apologized, acknowledging that it may have come off as creepy, and still got the stink eye. Perhaps a month later, saw a dad with his 2 kids in a gas station, the daughter was wearing a skirt tucked into her underpants. I wanted to say something, but here's a random dude who noticed a minor, so I never said anything. I hope he noticed the wardrobe malfunction sooner than later. Dad would have most likely gotten very protective of his kids, not that I blame him. I've since figured out that unless the parents know you, even casually, it's much safer for a male to just ignore everything. Kid gets hurt? Tough shit Tommy or Susie, this guy ain't getting the cops called on him. Kids lost? Keep 10 feet away at all times until the cops get here, bud. Even if I had the medical knowledge to help, I ain't going anywhere near that landmine. Don't get me wrong. I'm well aware there is a large problem with child trafficking, etc. I'm grateful that many people are alert to potential threats. But how the hell much evidence do we, as dads, or family members, need to provide to show that we're not some sicko? By the way, most of the kids who are abused probably know the perp. So the stranger danger idea, while valid, doesn't hold much water.